first things first, guys. How are you?
We're fine, very tired, I would say.
How did the show go?
It could be better, it could be worse.
Well, how come?
It was kind of like our first day with a completely new system. We have our own digital mixer on stage now, so we set that up, and the sound engineer didn't get his microphones from the like on the airport. He didn't.
Okay. Ah,
It got lost.
Yeah, he got lost. So yeah, the sound was completely different and like a lot of distorted things in the ear suddenly because when you change the microphones, things like that happens. But
I think the show went well, even though
it's a bit
our
early.
sound was a bit strange in our inners.
And well, for you, was it nice to play songs from the new album for a new audience?
Definitely.
Very nice.
It takes quite a lot of. It takes some time to like lower the shoulders completely, even though we rehearse them a lot. It's something different to do it on stage and have the performance together with it. But yeah.
And it was also the first show with a new bass player.
Okay.
A new like a session bass player. So, but that worked out very well. So that's a very positive.
What was the reason for a new bass player then?
It was just during the recording. While we were recording the album, we found out that it wasn't working out that great. So we had to ask someone else to step in to do that to do the bass on the album, and then we asked him to also join when we were playing live. So yeah.
So was this during the recording process that you made changes?
Yeah.
And so the person, the bass player you played with now, did he play on the record?
No.
Yeah, he played.
Did you play with today?
Yeah.
Yes, he played.
Oh, so he was on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it difficult because you were working on a new record to replace someone because it changes the dynamic
it was
a bit?
on a pretty short notice.
Okay.
Because but it worked out pretty good. Actually, very well. I can say. Yeah, we're very satisfied. So.
And then you say you were glad to be able to play these songs now for people. What did you notice? Were there certain songs that stuck out for the audience or for yourself?
I think actually all those three, we had a short set list today, so we could choose like mostly the crowd pleasers and then the ones that we like ourselves also. It's kind of easy choice. There are some songs that are very obvious from the new album to play, so I think all of them worked well. But it's early. I mean, there was good feedback from the audience, but you never get that same feeling 12 in the morning as 12 in the evening.
Sure.
It's just like people are a bit more. Okay.
Well, do you remember what the first what gave way to this album? What initiated it? What the starting point was?
Yeah, we just decided to. I mean, we're finished touring for a while, and then now we really need to start with the next album, and then just set up a very structured plan for how to do it, like to write 2 sketches for full songs per week until we had 30, and it's literally just an album that is a result of very hard work and a structured process, actually, much more than the others in that matter.
Well, why this change then to go for a more structured approach?
We had new members in the band. We couldn't rely on the previous working method. So and sometimes it's nice. I mean, when there is a change, you can emphasize the change with doing something new. Yeah.
What was the first song that you started on? One of those sketches?
The Flood, the first one we played tonight.
I unfortunately wasn't there.
No.
So,
the first we played, The Flood.
Okay. And so
Actually, I thought the first song was the one that ended up being the Pixie.
No,
but then we recorded the first.
No, that's just the one we started rehearsing first.
Okay,
I wrote the other first,
that's
actually.
right.
do you remember what the spark was for this song?
Actually, it doesn't work like that when I write music. I just write a lot of things, and in that first period of writing, everything is kind of random. It's not like eureka, now I have it. It's not like that. It's like you do something that later on triggers something more. So when we had 30 sketches, none of them sounded like, yeah, but we picked which of those that were to be worked further on, and we threw away all the rest.
When does it start to take shape then? Is there a moment where you kind of see a thread through all of it?
It can happen early, but mostly it happens a bit later in the process. One of the songs on the album, when I first made it, I was completely uninspired. Okay. I felt it was really, really crappy, and
Which song was this?
Rewind. And I was really embarrassed to send it. I remember it very well. I wrote it.
We had to, because we had to. No, we have to have one more for the rehearsal this day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. Here you have it. I sent it, and I was just
But it has been worked on a bit after that first sketch.
And for me, that was a sure thing that never gonna use this. But then we came to the rehearsal. We tried a bit, and there was just one thing when we got to a section that is kind of a heavy section. The rhythm part there worked very well. It was just the thing on the top that didn't work, the lead parts that sounded like Sweet Home Alabama or something like that. Yeah, and it was very chaotic. The song, it was very badly structured. But then that spark was enough to trigger new inspiration, to change it completely and make it into something completely new. But still, it's kind of the same as it originally was. So you never know what can triggers the inspiration.
And the nice thing is that I think in our previous methods of working with that kind of idea, you probably would never have showed it to us, but now it was like, okay, we have to have something. He has gotten some ideas, he sends it to us, and we listen to it. And then we meet up, try to play it. And I mean, if it hadn't been for that, we would never have realized that it's actually some cool ideas. And then the fact that we just went further after that. We didn't work on anything more. And then when we were cutting down from the 30 sketches, then we could choose the 15 best instead of just having to. Previously we've been like stuck with the ideas we've started, and we've tried to finish it before we move on to the next one. So, and if you've been working on something for like some weeks, then it's a bit hard to just say, no, this isn't good enough, so we will go on. So this way we could actually handpick the best ideas instead of just doing the first thing that came to our minds. So it's a good selection process.
Yeah, and as I say also is that so many people, they wait for the inspiration to come. I don't think it really works like that. That's just laziness, in my opinion. It's just like, okay, I can compare it with digging for gold in the old times. Like you go out and I'm so inspired to find it today, and you find absolutely nothing, and you go out completely demotivated one day, and suddenly there is the gold. So it's just about how often you try and how hard you try, and that's what it's about. Because and
what you just described, is it then mostly the music that kind of dictates where you're going, or can it also be a lyric? Or
for in our sake, it's always the music first, and then we adapt the lyrics to the music.
Okay.
It hasn't happened, I think, that we first have some lyrics which inspires some music. It's more like, but when you have a song, and if I, for example, have written some lyrics, and then the feel you get from the song might give you a kind of like a mood of some sense, then you can adapt the lyrics a bit to that mood instead. I mean that's what I think that's easiest. So I wouldn't know how to. I don't get like compositions in my head from writing lyrics. It's more the other way around.
Yeah, same.